Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Joe Stunner Boxing. I hope you're having a good weekend. Saul CANELO Alvarez has made a few comments when asked about Jaime Munguia's failed or alleged failed test. Has it been confirmed yet? I don't know. I think it has. Mike Coppinger reported this. He now works for the Ring, and generally speaking, he's pretty good with the old intel. So there have been lots of questions asked regarding Eddy Reynoso's stable, because they're all getting popped, or not all of them, but most of them, a lot of them are getting popped anyway. And Canelo sort of, in a roundabout way, sprung to the defence of Eddy Reynoso. He says only he knows what happened, meaning Munguia, not Reynoso. At the end of the day, he knows what happened. Obviously, people throw shade at Eddy, but Eddy does not bring him his supplementation. Eddy does not bring him things of what he needs to eat, much less for people to understand. This is translated badly, I think, from Spanish. Eddy just trains him, and that's it. Some time ago, I told Eddy, you have the day you are going to catch a fighter. What do you have to do? Some time ago, I told Eddy, you have the day you are going to catch a fighter. Yeah, this is very poorly translated. I don't even know what that means. You have to feed him, supplement him and everything. What for? So these things do not happen to you, because they've already happened and they can blame everything on the Canelo team. So I think what Canelo's saying is that Reynoso should be in charge of everything, the supplementation, what goes into the body and so on, because otherwise someone's going to give a fighter something that they shouldn't, and then Reynoso picks up the flack. Okay, well, that's a reasonable argument from Canelo. I get it. But of course, you have to also talk about expertise, because does Reynoso really know enough about what is on and not on the various often varying banned substance lists? You have to weigh this up. Ultimately, you have to bring in top people who have no horse in the race, who have no vested interest in fighter A, being, shall we say, having an unfair advantage to fighter B. But of course, if you're employed by fighter A, ultimately you've got to have integrity, you've got to have honesty. And if there's a lot of money to be made, the old saying, money corrupts. Yeah, I mean, it does seem very strange to me that a lot of Reynoso's fighters are being popped. But is this a Reynoso thing, or is it a thing amongst leading Mexican fighters? Is there a sort of culture within Mexican boxing at the top level, well, perhaps down below, where fighters think they can bend rules, circumnavigate substances that are on the banned list, and include them but not get popped? And it's difficult. I mean, I can't say for certain, because I've never been to Mexico. I don't know anything about Mexican boxing gym culture. But I will say this, and that is that anyone who's ever been near a gym, that is to say consistently, so you go to a gym, you're working out, you get to know the trainers, you get to know the fighters, you get to, it's usually, maybe not always, but usually an open secret as to who's doing what. And this is why I agree with Lee from Inside the Distance, who we're having this conversation. We've had it a couple of times, actually, where Lee says the gym should suffer as well. I agree with that, because ultimately the head of the gym, in this case Reynoso, has to be in charge. The buck has to stop with him. That's called leadership. That's called leading from the front, not hiding behind others. And it is an open secret in a lot of gyms where someone is doing something they shouldn't. And okay, I concede entirely the point that gossip can be bullshit. Gossip is gossip. It's not fact. It's not proven. And I'm a big, show me guy. I'm a big prove it to me guy. I don't like anything to be run on gossip. But I would say that in the case of Reynoso's gym and other gyms, not just Reynoso, including ones in the UK, of course, some of these rumours would warrant an investigation by, well, in the case of the UK, the British Boxing Board of Control, Mexican commissions, the ruling bodies and so on. I think we need, if we're serious about tackling PEDs, and I always have been, and there is no ultimate victory. You're never going to wipe them out totally. There's always going to be some people who are cheating. That's always been the way it is with PEDs or other forms of cheating. Some people cheat. The rewards are too great. Some people consider for them not to cheat. But if you're serious about battling PEDs, you've got to introduce. You've got to be iron-fisted about it, and you've got to go in with a really highly boundaried, determined, motivated, and strict mentality, which definitely has not always been the case in boxing. In fact, more often than not, it isn't that type of mentality. So I don't know. This will go on for a while. I'm sure Munguia will get away with it more or less. He might get a 6-month ban, which is meaningless. He might get a year's ban, which is meaningless. He's still a young man. He can still have big fights, still make millions of quid or whatever, dollars. I don't think anything will come of it. But yeah, just a few thoughts. You tell me what you think, if you agree with me or not. Comments below as always. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, because that helps us out a great deal. I always appreciate your support. And if you did enjoy the video, hit the like button. Plenty more videos for you. Thank you very much, ladies and gents. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. It's in the UK, it's hot. Really, too hot for me. But in the UK, it's either too cold or too hot. I hope you're having a good time. Catch you later. Bye for now.